Alright, got here an ASSA Max. Here's the key. It is a Max Plus key, but it is actually just an ASSA Max. There's really not a lot of difference between the two. So here's our bitting. As you can see, it is very nearly a blank. All of these are near max cuts. This one is a max lift. So lots of really high lifts with those barrels. Makes for a rather miserable barrel picking experience. But thankfully it has a rather forgiving sidebar. So there you go. The hard part of this is definitely the top pins. This will probably be a pretty long video. Bit of sloth in there. Let's dig that out, eh? No? Oh, well, I can stay then. Anyway, here it is, the key working. Back and forth. So there we go. Let's give it a pick. Give it an attempt. If not, that'll serve as my introduction and you'll see one that actually does get somewhere. Start out with pretty strong tension. They act very tapered at first, so you just gotta just start out with that one, and then I'll switch to this Peterson hook where I can get a bit more deliberate pick placement easier. Alright, past the tapered section. Now we're going to clean things out of milling section. Ease up the tension a bit, but still reasonable. Ooh. Got it. Oh, yes. That was not even horrendous. 20 minutes. Oh, there you go, Artie. Fucking did it. I mean, I bleeping did it. All right. Not my fastest pick in the world, but considering that's another black belt luck, can't argue with that. All right. Key back in. Still works. Put my pick tools aside. So I was using, I only use this a tiny bit, but my Butcher's Block Gem. This Peterson hook, as much as I don't like Peterson, this one profile is really good. It's really sturdy. It's great for doing that sort of thing. Multi-pick number 13 bar fits nicely up the top. And which one did I end up using? A number 7. I thought I'd use a number 10, but actually the number 7 was just a little bit longer, and it's really open down the bottom of that keyway in this one, so it fit better than the number 10. All right, let's clear that out. Oh, I should have taken a picture. Oh well. Wipe the sweat off my condensation off my hands. Filthy. All right. Core retention screw off the back. Actually, we're not going to do it that way. Leave that on for the moment. Take this key out. Because this has a closing rod up the top. So let's do the top pins first. Closing rod is the best idea. I wish more locks use this. So it's just, this bar goes across the top. So instead of tapping them all individually, you just shove this bar through. Fantastic idea. All right. So, 1, just take all the springs out first. 2, 3. The good thing about barrels is they don't really have a right way up, so I don't have to be too careful about showing anything to do with them, really. So let's start with 6. So we got barrel there. Slide that up. And keep in there. All right, 5. Barrel. Keep in. 4. Barrel. Keep in. We'll do number 1. Oops, there it is. Barrel. Keep in. And finally 2. Barrel. Oops. Keep in. We haven't done number 3. Never mind. 3. Barrel. Keep in. So you can say all of those are fairly similar in length. All the long barrels. That's everything from the top. So now let's take this out. Core retention off. Put that aside, don't need that anymore. Get our key, just holds the sliders in. And we can just push it straight out the front, remembering to keep a finger for the sidebar. So there's our housing. You can see the sidebar groove there. You can sort of see down those chambers there. There's a slot for that closing rod at the back. So that's that. This also has a nice shiny front, but sort of gets in the way for picking, so I left that off. So in the core, before we get to that, we've got a drill rod there. You can see all that barrel mirroring on the sides here. Still nice and crisp. Maybe you can see that on the other side too. There it is. All right, so there's all that. So we got our sidebar. Yep, sidebar spring. Stay. So, it's never going to focus, is it? All right, there we go. So you can see we had a sort of a medium, low, low. Oh, actually, this is the front. So a medium, a reasonably high, a low, and a medium. So 2 clicks, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, 2 clicks, I don't know, none clicks, or 1 tiny 2 clicks. Anyway, that's the sidebar. So we've got tiny little sidebar springs here. 1 now over there. And 2. And then we have our sliders, which are all the same because it is the slider bar that sets the bidding. So don't have to be too careful, but we will do them all one at a time anyway. So that is number 5. Came out there. Number 5's spring. Whoa. Spring. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's just take that out. This is my core holder for stability. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see they've all got those false gates, oscillations, and a nice deep true gate. And that's what interacts on the pin there. So that's what you're picking against, is that little bit. You keep with the flag, or you could use a pick. Lots of people use a pick. I like flags. 1, 2, 3, and the final spring. So that's all of that. So then out of the way, that's where those sit in there. So there's that front of the keyway shot. So yeah, they stick in, sticking out like so. And you lift them up into that. So it does have this little groove that's supposed to make getting at those harder, but honestly, they've left so much room down the bottom here that it's not that bad to access them. You can tell on this keyway too, there's just this little nub here. So when you're just trying to look up what keyway it is, that's a little feature. It has some more drill protection there, on the top, down the side. There we go. There's the last look at that key. Pretty much the worst beating you could have for barrels, but an okay-ish sidebar. So there's our close-up. All the barrels, same. There's another view of that sidebar. We can see those gates in like that. There's another view of that milling. And there's a nice close-up of those side pins. So there you go. ASSA Max.